right after Master died, Mistress wanted to have dual cultivation with me. At this moment, Mistress couldn't wait to drag me to the room. She took off her clothes and said she would pass on a cultivation technique to me. I was completely dumbfounded at this moment. This plot was just like the movies in my hard drive from my previous life. Later I learned that Mistress did this out of helplessness. Actually, it was all because of my master. His sudden accidental death left the huge Shin family leaderless. There were originally 3 big families in King Shan Town, namely the Lei family, the Z family, and the Qin family. The 3 big families had always been in a competitive relationship when my master was alive before. They could maintain a balance. Now that master has died, the Qin family will be annexed by the Lei and Z families before long. Helpless. Mistress called me over at this time. Hesitating, she said, Mistress will pass on a cultivation technique to you. You should carefully study it in the future. I was just about to ask what kind of cultivation technique it was, but she had already started the temporary transmission of the technique. As the information came in, I quickly learned the name of this cultivation technique. Yin-Yang Good Fortune, Turn of Fortune, Heaven and Earth Divine Technique. What a long name, and it's actually called a divine technique. This cultivation technique must be really powerful. I asked subconsciously. Gu Shuken's face showed a struggle. After hesitating for a long time, she finally made up her mind and said, Mistress wants you to practice with me. I was immediately confused. Why do we need to practice the cultivation technique together? Can't I practice it alone? As I said this, I suddenly realized something. Could this be a dual cultivation technique? A trace of panic flashed across Gu Shuken's face, and she immediately denied it. Of course not. I'm your mistress. How could I pass on that kind of cultivation technique to you? I was still puzzled. But why do you say we need to practice together? The beautiful woman regained her calm look and said indifferently, because this cultivation technique can make progress faster when 2 people practice it. One person can also practice it, but the effect is much worse than when 2 people practice together. So that's how it is. I suddenly understood. Then how exactly should we practice together? Come here first. Mistress will teach you slowly, okay? I took a step and sat beside the beautiful woman. Then I saw Mistress take off her clothes. I stood up excitedly at once. Mistress, what are you doing? Dual cultivation requires us to be naked to each other so that we can maximize the benefits. Although Gu Shuken's face was calm, her tone was obviously a bit unnatural. After all, this was the first time she was alone with a man other than her husband, and it was inevitable that she would feel nervous. Is this really okay? The sudden situation made me a little at a loss. Although Gu Shuken was very beautiful, I had always regarded her as an elder and had never had any improper thoughts. Now that I suddenly had to do such an intimate thing with an elder, I naturally panicked. Gu Shuken also knew this wasn't very good, but there was no other choice now. She was currently at the 9th level of the Kaimai realm, just 1 step away from the Ningwen realm. As long as she had a dual cultivation once, she could successfully break through to the Ningwen realm. Not only could she keep the Qin family safe, but she could also continue to stay in Yunlin sect with Ling Yuan. Since it was dual cultivation, of course, she needed a man. She couldn't just find someone randomly. After thinking it over, only her own apprentice was suitable. He was good looking and had good character. Although his talent was a bit lacking, it could be made up for later. With the power of the Yin-Yang divine technique, and with her to assist Lin Yuan, his future achievements surely wouldn't be bad. As the saying goes, don't let the fat water flow to outsiders. It was better to let her apprentice have the benefit. The only inappropriate thing was that he was her husband's apprentice. With this relationship, she always felt extremely ashamed. Forget it. Her husband's apprentice wasn't really an outsider. Thinking of this, Gu Shuken made up her mind and said, there's nothing wrong with it. Just do as I say. Hurry up and take off your clothes. I said a bit unnaturally. Then wouldn't I be taking advantage of Mistress? I'm not an outsider. What's wrong with you taking a little advantage? Stop talking nonsense. I'm a woman and I'm not afraid. Why are you, a big man, being so timid? Since she said so, how could I not follow? I immediately did as she said. Then, under Mistress's guidance, I started to practice. Looking at the increasingly strange situation, I was extremely shocked inside. By now, even if I was stupid, I understood what she wanted to do. My rationality told me this was wrong, but like an arrow on the string, it had to be shot. I'm sorry, Master. After silently saying this in my heart, I stopped thinking too much and started to practice seriously. I don't know how long it took after a round of cultivation ended. Mistress sat cross-legged to digest the pure yuan she got. I lay beside her, my face showing extreme fatigue. Practicing this cultivation technique really wasn't an easy thing, especially since Mistress's cultivation was higher than mine. So I was mostly passive and at her mercy. This made me feel aggrieved. I thought that when my cultivation was successful in the future, I must take back the initiative. Wait, why would I have such an idea? I was shocked by myself. Master had just died, and the first 7th-day mourning period hadn't even passed. How could I be disrespectful to Mistress? This was a heinous act. I immediately put away my absurd thoughts and calmed down to feel the condition of my body. Although this cultivation was very tiring, the harvest was also huge. I directly soared from the 5th level of the Kuiti realm to the 9th level of the Kuiti realm. This made me overjoyed. You know, for a cultivator from an ordinary family, each level of the Kuiti realm requires a large amount of resources to improve, and now, with just one cultivation, I broke through for small realms. This was simply incredible. The cultivation technique Mistress gave me was actually so powerful. At this time, Gu Shuken also stopped practicing. Her skin was crystal, clear, and translucent. Her temperament was ethereal, and the aura she exuded was obviously much stronger than before. I was immediately surprised and said, "Mistress, you broke through." Gu Shuken smiled brightly. Yes. Through this cultivation, I successfully broke through to the 1st level of the Ningwen realm. I was delighted and said, "That's great. With this cultivation, we don't have to be afraid of the Lei and Zi families anymore." When it came to these two families, coldness flashed in Gu Shuken's eyes. If they dared to touch the Qin family, I will definitely make them pay the price. Hearing such cold words, I couldn't help but worrying and said, the heads of the Lei and Zi families should have more than the 1st level cultivation of the Ningwen realm. What if they join hands? Do you have the confidence to deal with them? Gu Shuken stretched out her slender finger and tapped my forehead, saying softly and affectionately, "You little rascal. You're only at the Kuiti realm, yet you're worried about Mistress." My face was full of sincerity. My parents died early. Mistress is the closest person to me in this world. How could I not worry about you? Gu Shuken said softly, "Don't worry. Mistress has a special constitution. My combat power is not comparable to that of ordinary cultivators." Hearing this, I was immediately stunned. What kind of constitution do you have? Mistress has the mysterious sound constitution. This constitution has an endless supply of yin che, which can not only enhance combat power, but also bring great benefits to the opposite sex. Hearing this, I thought of my cultivation improvement and suddenly understood. No wonder I broke through for small realms in a row. It was all thanks to you. Mistress, Gu Shuken nodded. You got so many benefits. One is because of my constitution. The second is because of the power of the cultivation technique. And the third, at the end, she paused, and a blush appeared on her face. Hearing her stop halfway, I couldn't help but ask, "What is the third, Mistress?" "The third is because of me." What? I was directly dumbfounded. Didn't Mistress and Master become Taoist companions many years ago? How could there be such a thing while I was stunned? I suddenly noticed the bed sheet behind Mistress. There was a touch of bright red on the snow, white fabric. This undoubtedly proved the truth of what she said, seeing my gaze. Gu Shuken blushed immediately and explained in a low voice. Because the stronger the mysterious sound constitution is, the thicker the mysterious sound power will be. So in order to get a greater improvement, your master and I had never had intercourse. We originally planned to do it after I broke through to the Ningwen realm, but unexpectedly, an accident happened, and it all ended up benefiting you. Speaking of this, she couldn't help but sigh with regret. If I were in the Ningwen realm, the thick mysterious sound power would be enough to help you break through to the Kaimai realm. Unfortunately, the situation is urgent now, and we don't have time to wait any longer. I finally understood. So, I had taken away what should have belonged to Master. It was really a sin. I sighed in my heart, and my guilt towards Master increased a bit more, seeing what her apprentice was thinking. Mistress comforted him. "It's okay, your master is such a kind person. If he knew about our situation in the underworld, he would surely be happy." Hearing this, I was a bit embarrassed. Master would probably want to crawl out of the coffin and kill me. What kind of happiness is that? Forget it. Anyway, Master is already dead. Taking good care of Mistress is also a way to repay him. I threw away my messy thoughts. Thank you, Mistress, for passing on the cultivation technique. I will definitely practice hard in the future and take good care of you for Master. Seeing me say this with such determination, Gu Shuken couldn't help but smile. "You little guy. Your cultivation is not even as high as mine, yet you dare to say you'll take care of me." I was immediately inspired and said, "I'm not as high as you now, but I will definitely surpass you in the future. The future is still far away. You can practice slowly, even if your strength is always inferior to Mistress. Mistress won't say anything. Mistress is really like this. You don't have any confidence in your apprentice at all." Okay, I have confidence. Then I'll wait for the day when my year surpasses me. From then on, Mistress will entrust herself to you. I will definitely take good care of you for master. You little fool, don't always mention your master. Okay, I won't mention him at this point. The atmosphere between the two of them suddenly became awkward. After all, Master had only died for one day, and we had already developed to this extent. If this matter got out, we would surely be gossiped about. But there was no other way. The threat of the Lei and Z families was imminent. Gu Shuken had to break through to the Ning Wen realm immediately to resolve the crisis. Now that things had come to this, there was no need to say more about this topic. Ahem. I coughed lightly and changed the subject, Mistress. Why did Master suddenly have an accident? Do you know the cause of his death? Gu Shuken's face became solemn. I think this matter should be related to Song Yuan. Elder Song, weren't he and Master on good terms? Why did he want to murder Master? The kind face of Elder Song appeared in my mind, and it was hard to connect him with the word. Murderer, Gu Shuken explained. You don't know, recently, the 5-a-year, once reward conference of Yunlin sect is about to be held. According to the contributions of the Outer Door Elders, your master ranked first and would receive the sect's reward. However, he died at this time. So, who would benefit the most? I suddenly understood. That must be the elder ranked second. So, the second ranked person has the motive to kill the first ranked one. Is the second a ranked person Elder Song? Yes, it's Song Mian? That guy said he was going to carry out a mission in Yunlin Mountain. He was afraid of being in danger alone, so he asked your master to go with him on the way. He secretly attacked your master with despicable means. I was heartbroken and said, how could master be so careless? Gu Shuken sighed helplessly. You know your master's character. He values righteousness and is kind, hearted, and generous. He is famous for helping others. Song Mian and he had known each other for many years. When an old friend asked for help, he naturally had no reason to refuse. I also sighed. Master was kinda hearted all his life. But in the end, he was killed by a villain. Heaven is really unfair. Gu Shuken said resentfully, that beast Song Mian. My husband treated him well on weekdays, but he killed his old friend for the reward. Such an act of biting the hand that feeds him is simply damned. I was filled with righteous indignation. He actually killed his fellow disciple. This guy is really despicable. How could there be such a beast in the sect? Gu Shuken gritted her teeth and said, this is human nature. People can do anything for the sake of interests. There are too many such people in the cultivation world. So, your master's death is the first lesson for you. You have to remember that the cultivation world is cold and cruel. Never trust anyone, they may betray you at any time for the sake of interests. I immediately nodded seriously, I know, seeing my serious expression. Gu Shuken couldn't help but laugh. Okay, Mistress just reminded you. You don't have to be so cautious, at least. You and I can trust each other. I smiled lightly. Mistress is already mine. Of course I trust you. The beautiful woman tapped my forehead and pouted. You little slippery one, how am I yours? I immediately smiled wickedly. Didn't we just have dual cultivation? What dual cultivation? I said it's joint cultivation. Okay, it's joint cultivation, not dual cultivation. I said this on my lips, but in my heart, I sneered. Stubborn woman, the rice is already cooked. Why care about this? Gu Shuken crossed her arms and snorted. Also, don't reveal our relationship in front of outsiders. I immediately teased, what relationship, Mistress? Aren't we master and disciple? Mistress gave me a white look. What relationship do you think? I don't know. What do you say, Mistress? You little guy, if you keep talking nonsense. Mistress won't be polite to you. Gu Shuken pinched her pink fist and waved it at me. Obviously, it was a threatening gesture, but it looked extremely cute. This was the first time I saw her show such a girlish look, especially with Mistress's charming face. It gave a strong sense of contrast, facing this alluring scene. I couldn't help but stretch out my arm and hug Mistress into my arms. The sudden move made Gu Shuken startled. She quickly pushed me away and said angrily, what are you doing? I said frankly, I'm sorry, Mistress. You're so beautiful that I couldn't help it. Gu Shuken was happy in her heart after being praised by me, but she pretended to be dissatisfied. Looking at your honesty, I'll forgive you this time. Don't do it again next time. Yes, Mistress, I agreed on my lips, but in my heart. I thought that when we had dual cultivation again, I could do whatever I wanted. Gu Shuken's face became solemn. Okay, since I have broken through, I'll go and deal with the Lei and Z families first. How do you plan to deal with them? Mistress, of course. I'll go directly to their door to intimidate them and let them know that even without Qin Ren, the Qin family is not to be offended. At this time, in the main hall of the Lei family, the family head Lazen sat on the main seat and said, Brother Z, now that Qin Ren is dead, the Qin family is leaderless and no longer has the qualification to be on a par with us. Let's take this opportunity to wipe them out. In the future, the benefits of King Shantown will be shared by our two families. Zian sat on the side seat, smiling slightly. Qin Ren's death is really great news for us. From now on, King Shantown will be the world of our two families. Haha, great elder. Quickly gather all the clansmen. This time, we must go all out and raise the Qin mansion to the ground. The great elder below bowed and said, "Yes, family head." Then he was about to turn around to gather the clansmen. Suddenly, a female voice came from outside. "Head of the Lei family, you have quite a big mouth. Gathering some useless minions and thinking of wiping out my Qin family. Who gave you the guts?" At this moment, the figures of me and Mistress appeared in the main hall. "Why is Gu Shuken here?" Leizhen and Zian immediately stood up, staring at the other's curvy and charming body, with a flash of desire in their eyes as the heads of the three big families. They had occasional gatherings on weekdays, so they had seen Qin Ren's wife. They had long coveted this charming and beautiful woman. The reason why Leizhen was so eager to send troops was not only to wipe out the Qin family, but also to meet this beautiful woman and see if there was a chance to take her as his own. "Madam Qin, what wind has blown you here?" Leizhen said with a leering smile, not hiding the greed in his eyes at all. "Brother Lei, what you said is strange. If Brother Qin were still alive, we should call her Madam Qin. But since that guy Qin Ren is already dead, we should call her Miss Gu." Zian also laughed, his eyes scanning the other's body wantonly. "Brother Z is right, Miss Gu lost her husband at such a young age. It really makes the two of us feel sorry." Leizhen pretended to sigh. "When Qin Ren was alive before, we would restrain ourselves a bit. But now, there's no need to hide anymore." Seeing the two family heads looking so eager, I couldn't help but sneer inwardly. These two old fellows also dared to covet Mistress's body. They really didn't know their place, Gu Shuken said at this time. "You two don't need to worry about my affairs just now. As soon as I entered the gate of the Lei mansion, I heard you say you were going to destroy my Qin family. Is there such a thing?" Leizhen admitted straightforwardly. "That's right, Qin Ren is dead, and the Qin family is no longer worthy to be on a par with us. It should be removed from the list." Zian then said, "Of course, if Miss Gu wants to protect the Qin family, it's not impossible. The price is that you submit to our two families and do as we say from now on." In their opinion, this beautiful woman was just an ant in the Kaimai realm, so there was no need to be polite to her. Gu Shuken snorted coldly. "Whether my Qin family is worthy or not is not up to you to decide. As for submission, it's absolutely out of the question." Leizhen's face turned cold. "Miss Gu, I'll be straightforward with you. You're a disciple of Yunlin sect, and we can't touch you. But what about the people of the Qin family? They have no backing, even if we wipe out the Qin family. No one will dare to say anything. Are you really willing to watch your husband's family be destroyed?" Zian sneered. "Either submit to us or hide back in your Yunlin sect and watch the Qin family members be slaughtered one by one." Gu Shuken said proudly, "As long as I'm here, the Qin family will never perish." Leizhen said disdainfully, "You, with just a Kaimai realm cultivation, are not qualified to protect the Qin family." Just as the two of them finished speaking, they suddenly sensed something. Their faces, which had been confident of victory, instantly froze. Because Gu Shuken released her aura, Ningwen Realm. She actually had the cultivation of the Ningwen Realm. This was simply incredible. Wasn't she only in the 9th level of the Kaimai Realm not long ago? How could she break through to the Ningwen Realm in just a few days? Looking at the astonished two, the beautiful woman sneered. "Do I have the qualification now?" Leizhen came back to his senses and said coldly, "So what if you've broken through to the Ningwen Realm? Both of us are at the 2nd level of the Ningwen Realm. You're only at the 1st level. How can you fight against us? Not to mention, there are two of us," Zian said coldly. "What the head of the Lei family said is right. Even if you break through to the Ningwen Realm, it can't change the fate of the Qin family. It's better to surrender obediently." "Really?" Gu Shuken sneered, and the cultivation technique in her body circulated. Pure Yuan-Che condensed in her palm, and she slapped towards the two of them. "How dare you attack?" The pupils of the two shrank, and they immediately activated their cultivation to meet it. But at this moment, an accident happened.